good? What's good here? We on a late night. Yeah, straight up. Roll call. Let's do it. Detroit in the building. San Francisco Bay. What's goody? West Philly in the building. Miami Gardens is in the building. Hawaii's in the building. Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Trenton, New Jersey is in the building. Tennessee is in the building. Detroit is in the building. Chi City's in the building. Pittsburgh, Ghana's in the building. Massachusetts is in the building. Oakland is in the building. Tennessee is in the building. Douglasville, GA is in the building. What's happening? You dig? Yes, Thailand. Thank you with the Cash App coming very early. Birmingham is in the building. Vegas is in the building. Bama's in the building. Oakland is in the building. Shout out to the brother Thailand, the first Cash App supporter. I appreciate you. Cincinnati's in the building. Kenya is in the building. Yeah, we global, y'all. Yeah, Purple Rain, Minnesota is in the building. All right, I say to you. Town Business is in the building. Yeah, what up, Town Business? Town Business. Denver's in the building. Fort Worth, Texas in the building. Yep. I'm in Houston. H-Town is in the building. Kenya's in the building. South Bend is in the building. Boston is in the building. Houston's in the building. Yeah, shoot a feast like a Uber Eats. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we don't got no music tonight. Ottawa's in the building. Arlington, Texas is in the building. Chicago is in the building. Shout out to Chicago. Oh shit, this a late show. I'm looking for the West Coast tonight mostly. Cause I know some of my East Coasters is sleeping, but the people that's up for the witching hour, yeah, this is a treat. Yeah, I wasn't gonna come on tonight, but I gotta come on tonight. Arkansas, Detroit, Portland. You expect me to be professional? Yeah, I expect me to be professional too. It snowed in Los Angeles. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy because it was 60 degrees in Chicago on Christmas, you know? And it snowed in Chicago. I mean, it snowed in LA. So what does that tell you? You know, we living in a very interesting times. San Jose, California. You know, this is like a backwards. This is the bizarro that everybody talked about. Tallahassee, 803, Columbia, South Carolina. 323 in the house. Harp at his finest. You really gonna give him that credit? Leimert Park. Mobile, Alabama. I gotta back up because in rules in film or rules in video, you're not supposed to cut your head off. You know what I'm saying? Even in pictures or in video. So you're supposed to have some space. You know what I mean? You're not even supposed to be in the camera where there's no space between you and the actual screen like that. So I gotta back up right here. And we're not gonna be too long tonight. This is part one of Ascension 2020 Ascension Protocol. There's gonna be about 3 parts to it, right? And we're gonna start it tonight. And the reason why this Third Eye Thursday is entitled 2020 Ascension Protocol is primarily because we're coming to the tail's end or the bookmark end of a decade, of a year, and of a millennium, right? We're entering into a new millennia for 2020. We're entering into a new day and time. We're entering into a new chapter in this book of life. Do not, by any means or by any circumstances, don't forget that. Don't forget that. I didn't go live on my IG. Oh, my live on my IG. I was at a podcast with Pop Darby today called Free Game, and it was lit. And if you watch my podcast, that's the first beginning of 2020 Ascension Protocol. That will be essentially the part one. I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube channel if I'm able to get all of the footage. But I'm in Houston right now. I was in downtown Houston earlier, and I had a very good 2.5 hour podcast. I was a guest on my brother Pop Darby's podcast. So we began to review the calendar year of 2019. So I'm gonna get in. We're gonna briefly touch on some stuff tonight. Hopefully, I will culminate this whole lecture or lesson, for that matter, because it's gonna be. This is a plate. Like going over 2019, people got bad memories. People wasn't even awake for the whole year. People got a lot of shit that they were into that I have no idea of. So to go over introspectively, you know, this calendar year, this solar cycle going forward into the Gregorian calendar year of 2020, it is of extreme importance to put things into perspective, to reflect back on what has happened to us individually, collectively, as a race, as a nation. What are some of the watershed moments? What are some of the catalyst moments? What are some of the moments that we'll look back in 10 to 15 years and say that this was a significant moment in time because it defined this era, because it basically set the trend or set the mold for times to come, you know? And there were a few things that happened this year that's going to continue and follow us and affect us as a people, as a culture, as a race, 20 and 30 and 50 years from now. That's a fact. You understand? So, one of the most significant things that happened to us that we can relate to, that we can have a conversation about, that we could collectively come on one accord and be like, yup, that's right. I feel you, my brother. One of the things that happened, it's not the only thing, but one of the things that happened that defined this calendar year and actually split it in half. There's a post this incident and there's a pre this incident, and that's the untimely demise and ascension of Nipsey Hussle, aka Ermias Ashtagon, aka God's risen. God has risen. Okay, and if you remember clearly, if you keep your mind on what was going on in the world, in our world, going back to what I was saying before, I need to completely impress upon your psyche and your minds and your subconsciousness that we exist in a reality that is unique to us, first and foremost, especially those of us who are resonating on a frequency that we would identify as conscious, or that we identify as enlightened, or we would identify as higher self. We do not vibrate. We don't even belong to a reality that people who look just like us, maybe even walk and talk like us, and could be living and sleeping right next to us. They don't exist in the same world. They don't exist in the same frequency. They don't exist in the same time period. You might be living in 2030. You might be living in 2040. You don't even know how advanced you are mentally in these days and times. And then you might be shacking up with somebody who's mentally in 1965. How about that? Living, they're mentally in the 80s. We just all visited family yesterday, was that? So you can understand what it is that I'm saying, that you might have family members who are basically stuck in a time zone, or they're in a time warp, or they're stuck in a time loop, right? It's very rare that we have people around us who are like in 2060, or they're on some Elon Musk type of shit and we can't catch up to them. No, you've been outfitted and you've been provided your motherfucking wings and your booster pack. So, we would appreciate some thanks. We would appreciate some thanks. And when I say we, I'm speaking about the thought leaders and the progressives and those who put in a lot of fucking work, heavy lifting and controlling the narrative and steering the quote unquote minds of a protected class, a honors class, and a special class of melanated people who exist, you know, in these days and times. The pantheon of the gods is what I call them, because every deity from the mythos, every deity, every American god who was brought over here by the ancestors or the Ados, or whatever you want to contribute, they're all here right now. Nigga, Dr. Manhattan walks the earth. God walks the earth. There's gods walking the earth right now. If you been studying about Heru and Offset and Asar, nigga, they're here. Why? Because you believe in them. You're reading about them. You're talking about them. So they exist. Because that's the world that we live in right now. If you haven't gotten the memo, it has nothing to do with, well, did they find Jesus' sandal? I think not. I think not. Yeah, I don't understand this quantum realm that we exist in. You have no concept whatsoever of quantum reality. You are completely, decalcified in your thoughts based off of you being in an elementary version. Uh, you're still in daycare Christianity centers. You have not elevated your thoughts into a Gnostic type of mentality. You have not raised your frequency, nor did you raise your degrees, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You still a fucking baby. You still dealing with the ABCs of Sunday school. So you don't realize the allegories. You don't realize the quote unquote, you don't realize the mythos. You don't understand what this thing is. You don't know that all is mental. Nigga, Mickey Mouse is real. Why? Because you believe in it. That's what the TV show American Gods did an excellent job this season and the first season, pointing it out that it's not about nothing but belief. It's all about belief, and then that emulsifies into faith. And that's what these motherfuckers have been moving with for a very long time, because your subconsciousness cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's not. Freddy Krueger is real, nigga. He's in your brain. He has real estate inside of one of the most precious places on earth, and that's your mind. So Jesus has real estate in the minds of billions of people. Blood has been shed to white Jesus. Caesar Bourgeois, niggas' heads have been cut off in his name. So blood was spilled in his name. Niggas, they send niggas up in his name all of the time. So if they sending people up, if they're shedding blood in his name, burning people at the stake, chopping them up, doing grand rituals, cutting off their phallus and putting it in a jar, cutting open, what do they call that when they cut your stomach open and basically, you know, take out all of your insides and whatnot. They're doing all kind of heinous shit in the name of Beelzebub, in the name of some of these demonic deities, these demiurges and things of that nature, and these Sith lords. your bowels. They're deboweling people and things of that nature. They're impaling people's heads on pikes in the name, in his name. Fuck is you talking about? He's not real. You niggas is retarded. What I'm saying is, and what I've warned people to be very careful to the energy that you continuously attach yourself to and pray to and pull and give your life force and energy to, because that's malware. That shit don't work. It doesn't, it's not adaptable to our systems. Henceforth, why so many people have so many split personalities, why they have so many demons, why so many people are quote unquote, why they have so many crosses, like the Jamaicans say, why they have so much red eye. You know what I mean? Why people are suffering so much, because the ancestors is pooping on you, because you are paying homage to the deity that niggas sacrificed, that they were sacrificed to. And you giving them energy and you giving them power, and we do it every holiday. We fall for the okie doke. We recharge the motherfucking spell. We recharge the egregores. We recharge the demiurge. We recharge the demons. We're feeding them all kind of turkeys and whatnot. Do you know I put a video? I put a post up on my Instagram about how many animals were slain this year. About 51 billion tons, right? Or 51 billion different animals. They don't have enough cows to feed niggas, so they're feeding niggas buffaloes or whatever, horses. You know, they don't have enough chickens to satisfy the egg shortage and whatnot. So you don't know what you're eating. First of all, second of all, most of these animal sacrifices are tied into occult rituals. They're tied into these demonic, quote unquote, Germanic, quote unquote, European, quote unquote, immigrants who came over here, and they're the ones who are running the slaughterhouses. They're the ones who are running the chicken houses, the chicken farms. You know, even if the people are raising the chickens, they have central slaughterhouses. You got to do the motherfucking due diligence and research to find out who's running the slaughterhouses. Are the same satanic Church of Satan cults in the Carolinas? Because, you know, anywhere that the KKK ever rode horses, that is a motherfucking hotbed for an occult, demonic, Satan worshiping white organizations. Let's be clear, they're not no fucking Bible toting, you know, Sunday school, Sunday service, you know what I'm saying, Kanye West followers. That's not them. These people, they, you know what I'm saying? They not biblical. How about that? All that ecclesiastical shit with these niggas rock you to sleep. No, these people eat. They eat babies, bro. Okay, and they've been hiding behind the quote unquote cloth for too long. And I don't have time right now, you know what I'm saying, in this millennial to try to convince niggas of what it is. I'm mostly speaking to graduates at this point. Yeah, talk black to me, nigga. I'm mostly speaking to my graduates. This is our motherfucking I'm like when they have this is the graduation speech, guys. You know, there's so many other teachers out there who have the time and the energy and the lessons to give y'all to get you to, you know, third grade. But at this point, I cannot waste any time trying to convince anybody of what is fucking known and written on the walls and graffiti. You dig? So, you know, a lot of things are to be avoided at all costs. And if you are to embark upon it, you are to embark upon it as an explorer on some Lewis and Clark shit. You're not to be of it. You can explore it. You could pick it apart and unpack it. You know what I mean? You could even sometimes sip from the well. But niggas is getting drunk. They sipping from the water and then they turn it into what they sipping. So it's not for every. You can't try this at home. This is not for everybody. You know, everybody can ride the boat and not drown. You know, this is not for everyone. Everybody can't go undercover. Everybody can't necessarily, you know, and they can't engage because they don't have the tools and they don't have the keys. They don't have the discipline, nor do many people have the grounding in order to not get swept up in religion, you know what I mean, or in organized religion mostly. I'm speaking out against that mostly. Because of its um, because of what it represents. But going back to what I was saying earlier, all our people have to do is believe in it. Once you believe in it, that's what you're perceiving in it. You're looking through the eyes of stained glass windows. You're looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. You're underneath that quote-unquote program. You're going to what you perceive your brain, what you believe your brain is going to rewire and is going to allow you to see. That's the power of neuroplasticity. That's the power of the human brain that is being quote unquote manipulated and is being fed by the mind. So this ongoing, relentless programming that takes place every Sunday, for the what I'm talking about, for the ones with for the ones that are really under the spell, it takes place about 3 times a week. As niggas is waking up, you get Tuesday school, Tuesday service, Thursday service, Friday, Saturday, then Sunday, you know. And like I was saying that because it's the power of belief, something very simple that we should be able to grasp, and unfortunately, you know, many of us have it's in front of our face, but you know we don't make shit plain. We don't make things plain. So we're giving all of our powers to something that's outside of us, and it's becoming a detriment to the collective and the whole because our power is being forfeited. And not only is it being forfeited, it's being siphoned off to the highest bidder, and it's being utilized by people who don't have our best interests at hand. They're using that shit as a battery every day. We are the batteries of this planet. The Matrix tried to show you. We are the ones who are controlled. We make the machine works off of our sweat labor. Like Dr. Claude Anderson said, all you niggas is doing is just giving out sweat. You don't own anything. You're not making nobody sweat in your name. You niggas is sweating, running with balls, dunking with balls, catching balls, dribbling balls, swinging balls, nigga. Right? You just sweating. And then for you niggas that's not in the league, you know, you play, your balls are the as part of the game that you out here playing, you know, the New York lottery. All you need is $40 in a dream. You know, it's still a ball game. Even for niggas that's not in the league, they in the club every night doing what? Playing the ball game, trying to get their balls waxed. You know what I'm talking about? They trying to service their balls. So, they in the club, they in the strip club, they're in your DM, they out here catcalling, you know what I'm talking about? Trying to get, So at the end of the day, it's a bunch of sweat, but there's nothing being done. There's nothing being controlled. There's no power. You know what I'm saying? The most power niggas got is on stars. And 50 Cent is in control of that. That's the most power that you got. And you still don't know who shot Ghost. So we gotta consolidate power. You know what I'm talking about? Go and watch shit like The Irishman. Go and watch shit like The Watchmen. Go and watch shit like Godfather Harlem. That's just a glimpse of some of the power that we need to be grabbing as a motherfucking race, so we could talk shit and hold and grab our balls and whatnot and talk crazy. Because going into 2020, you know what I mean? Niggas have gotten neutered in this epoch. There was some neutering taking place. So Niggas is not stepping into 2020 with their balls hanging the way that it was hanging in the 90s. How about that? You know what I'm talking about? What's fucking with that? And the Nipsey Hussle assassination in the middle of the year split the year in two. It was 2019 when Nipsey Hussle was alive. Then it was 2019 post Nipsey Hussle. Two different worlds, two different realities, two different frequencies. You know what I'm saying? Two different mentalities that we all had collectively. We wasn't on some marathon shit coming into January, nigga. Niggas was on surviving R. Kelly and whatever else was in the fucking air. Niggas was on that. After Nipsey died, after the ascension of a black messiah, because that's what happened. Y'all got to witness what we was trying to teach you about since 2016. It was called a Blackamoor Messiah. Blackamoor meaning that the nigga is black and he a Moor. He got two nations in his bosom. He represent the continent and the countries within, you know, one of the countries from the continent. And he over here in America, you know, doing American shit. That's your boy, Ermias. And his Umi, Angelique, she completed the cipher, you know, with her angelic self. Um, his story was a myth. His story was a real life story, but it had heavy tints of mythology in it. The whole 33 shit, to live and die in L.A. on bail, to live and die in L.A. at 33 like Sam Cooke, had the gram shook. He was a Robin Hood figure. He was in the underworld, in the trenches with the leeches and the lepers and the killers and the bangers, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? He was self-made. He was an owner. He stressed that. He was independent. He basically was an anomaly, and he was a glitch in the matrix because he wasn't supposed to make it, or he wasn't supposed to eclipse all of these niggas who were signed to contracts, or all of these niggas who are major label artists and whatnot, because what we have to understand about major label artists within their contract, within the sorcery of the contract, that's usually drafted up by some warlocks that are out there in Tinseltown, or you know, the ledgers, the ones who are the masters with the pen and the double talkers called legalese. They basically trap these light beings, right? These are the stars. Our black stars are called black diamonds outside of America. They're looked at like gods of America. Our black stars, our athletes, our actors, our rappers, our personalities. But all of these personalities, like 89, 95% of them, are basically locked in underneath not just a slave contract, they're locked in underneath a contract that has them in a box. And if you really pay attention, if you are attentive like I am, and you listen to the podcast and you listen to the interviews, like the Rap Radar interview with Drake last night, which is one of the best interviews of the year, I'm not concerned with the politics. I'm concerned with the information. I study. This is my job. I'm studying the stars because I'm stargazing, and I'm studying the constellations, and I'm studying the stars. The stars are bigger than the human beings. The flaws and the bullshit and the fuck shit that they do is part of the mythos. You retards, we're not here to judge. That's the problem that niggas have, that they nitpicking when they want to judge niggas and put niggas on crosses and hold them to their weird ass standards, and they forget the idea that we're just observers and this shit is a fucking movie, and Drake is a constellation, and Kanye is a constellation, and Hova is a constellation, and these people are part of the mythos, and they're not supposed to be perfect, and they're not gonna play by the fucking flute that you're playing because you just learned about Hotep in the Oxford Dictionary, so they gotta be a Hotep, and they gotta be giving you the fucking marching orders on how to take over. You know what I mean? Bed-Stuy. Shut the fuck up with stupid shit. This is the fantasy shit that I be talking about because niggas believe that Santa Claus is real. Because niggas believe that Jesus was born on December 25th in the desert in the Middle East, and this nigga looks like Rod Sterling. You know what I mean? It's dumb shit like that to be having niggas in their dumb bag in the basement with these fucking baby with this third grade, imagination, and they interject that buffoonery into grown man talk. Stop being so fucking judgmental and just observe. Did you go to watch Frozen 2 and be telling you yelling at what's her name, Elsa on the screen, nigga? Are you just gonna watch, her on the ice horse? Because I saw that with my daughter last night, and if anybody saw Frozen 2, they were going all the way in. I'm about to homeschool my daughter on how to do decoding and have Bella doing the decoding of Disney. We need a child to start breaking those movies down because they're hypnotizing our babies. The reason why we're losing our children is because we don't got no cartoons that we created. We have not control. We don't control their subconscious. We don't own their fantasy world. We're not programming their imagination. Disney had the best year ever. Fuck Disney had the best decade ever. What are you talking about? They winning. Now they got Baby Yoda. They're winning, bro, because they're programming the babies from inception. They have our babies looking at white women as princesses. They can't see anything but that. That's what we're failing at. We don't got cartoons. We have not controlled the homeschooling. We don't have homeschooling kits and whatnot. We don't have an agreed upon homeschooling curriculum. We have not created any kind of mythos, animal motifs and whatnot to get. They got Peppa Pig. They giving the babies a fucking talking pig. They giving them a talking mouse. They giving them all of these animals and white blonde fucking princesses and white warlocks and witches and all of these things, and our babies is completely being indoctrinated while we sit them in front of the Netflix, and they got wild content. YouTube is flooded with content. Netflix is flooded. Amazon Prime, everything. They got them channels stacked. And none of these stories is really empowering us. None of them. They're subtly interjecting into impressionable minds that you don't have the magic that you were born with. They're telling our babies that they do not have. Even if they have the magic, they're making them feel like they are subservient to Elsa, the fucking mermaids, you know what I mean? The unicorns, and everybody. That has to be fixed immediately. That's going to take millions of dollars coming from the community that we could collect the same way that we could collect any amount of money through crowdfunding. We could do that. We have to create a fund, a multi-million-dollar fund, so we could compete with DreamWorks. We could compete with all of the animation studios. You can do that shit from your home. You can have an animation studio. You could buy the new Mac computer, the Mac Pro desktop that's like $5,000. I think it's $50,000 completely juiced up. You get about 4 of those. You get some animators who know how to work Unity, and all of these 3D programs, and you start building video games. You get the Oculus Rift developing pack. You get the developing kit for Oculus and all of the Microsoft Hologens, the virtual and the augmented reality software, and we have to create a universe and a world for our daughters and our sons of powerful superheroes that look exactly like them. Not Tyler Perry Studio. Remember, the Hollywood studios, the reason why the Hollywood studios was so fire is because five of them existed. Not one, five of them existed. So they were playing off of competition and things of that nature. You had Century, you had Fox, you had the Warner Brothers, right? You had five different studios, okay? Not one studio. So Tyler Perry with his one studio, that's just one studio. We got four more to go. He got the LBGT, quote unquote, buffoonery, quote unquote. He will be a segment of, if you go and study Empire of Their Own, when they talk about the five major studios that the Jews from New York and Boston went out into California and built up, MGM and all of that. Myler, Gold, whatever that name is, they went and built. Each studio had a personality. Each studio had a power, a strength, and a weakness. Each studio focused on something based off of the owner of the studio's mentality, based off of the DNA of the owners of these studios. So you cannot expect liberation. You cannot expect evolution. You cannot expect groundbreaking material that's going to filter out of Tyler Perry. Is going to have a balance. You're going to get that, but you're going to get a balance. You're going to get something else. But where's the studio that's all animation, that's going to deal with, the new superheroes? Where's the black comic book companies at? You could do what Marvel and what Stan Lee and them took 30 and 40 years to do. You could do that shit in 4 now, because we're in the quickening. We live in a different time and era. You can make $1 billion movie, because $1 billion movies, ever since Black Panther broke the mold, nigga, Disney had about, Disney slash Marvel, them niggas had about $7 billion movies after that. Aquaman. Well, no, Aquaman is DC. Aquaman, Joker, they had $1 billion movies. Lion King, $1 billion. It's a few other of them. Avengers, $1 billion. So cut out any type. Like I said, Nipsey broke the mold. That's what 2019 is. 2019 is the Jubilee year. 2019 is a 400-year culmination, where they say biblically that the curse that they had on our black asses, or our African asses, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, our ADOS asses, they said that curse was supposed to be lifted at the end of this year. This is a major year. 19 keys. Shout out to 19. He'll tell you the power of the 19. So in this year, in this biblical Gregorian year, 2019, we got what the fuck was promised to us. But if you don't know what you looking at, if you don't know what you seeing, if you don't understand the power of sacrifice, you gotta shed some fucking blood. Blood is gonna be shed whenever there's a catalyst, because that's not just a black thing, nigga. That's a thing. So when they shed that man's blood, and he gave up his host, and he gave up his ghost, there was a shift that took place. That shift took place within us. Niggas' hearts, or certain spirits, there was a divine spark that took place, and it woke people up, and it affected the people in a way that they have not been affected in a very long time. And that because that means something. You know what I mean? You can't expect ABC News or NBC or fucking Vlad TV to look into shit like that, because that's not what they do. You understand? They don't go deep diving. That's not what they do. They're here to distract you. They're here to tell about what color underwear niggas be wearing and all of the fuck shit. They're a big distraction. It's Medea. It's a version of, shit that doesn't mean anything. You know, if you do not elevate your media platforms, they go deep diving in 2020, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Because, nigga, we here. And I watch enough documentaries and I read enough books and I pay attention to enough origin stories to know this is how this shit starts. You know what I mean? It starts in the basement. It starts with the sacrifice. It starts on small scales like this. And then it balloons. It blows the fuck up overnight when the time is right. So the time is right. Nigga, it's a victory lap. Fuck is you talking about? Go in a few days, this is a victory lap. Nigga, we made it. Whoever the fuck makes it across that finish line into 2020, you are a victor. You better do your victory dance. You made it. You made it past. You made it into a very spiritually enlightening. You made it into a new epoch. Life as we know it after 2020 will never be the same again. You're going to see some shit that is going to negate the last few hundred years of what you thought reality was. That's on everything. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because you know what I'm talking about? You need to have faith. You need to believe in the fact that physicality is not real. You need to believe in the fact that this is a holographic universe and this is a simulation. You need to believe in the fact that this is a fractal universe that we live in and it's programmable and it could be changed. You have to believe that there's something more intelligent than us that's out there that's moving shit around. That's something that you need to believe. The same way that you believe in Jesus taking the fucking wheel. You know what I'm talking about? You know, on an Autobahn and doing, you know, and doing motherfucking Tesla truck numbers. You gotta believe. It starts with belief. You better believe in them black gods hovering above in cigar-shaped ships and light fucking light, you know, and sitting up in them diamond light ships. You need to believe on the dark side of the moon that there's some motherfucking you know, that you got some backup. You need to believe that in the spirit realm, we out here eating food. We out here, you know, we out here drilling shit. You know what I'm talking about? Do 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 do. Hey yo. Yeah, you better believe in the spirit realm. Nobody can fuck with us. And to be honest with you, if you really know what it is, then you know that we already won. We always gonna need an adversary in order for the mythos. You have to have a protagonist and an antagonist in order for the Osaurian myth to even exist. So stop fucking trying to point out, you know, I'm gonna stop trying to point out who the ops are because it's a waste of time. They're only part of the theater. It's, you know what I mean? Like they're only part of the play. I don't have to waste my time trying to point out. I don't even have to say the word supremacy in my lexicon because it does nothing for the story. We know what the fuck is going on, but they're not supreme, and I won't utter those words because that's not what we're dealing with. We're dealing with us. It's not them. It's us. It's not. It has nothing to do with them. To be honest with you, they just exist so you can exist and you could be better than what the fuck you are in this existence. That's all they are. You know what I'm talking about? They're all they are the antagonists in the story. To defeat them, it's not about focusing on them. That's gonna be controversial. That's gonna go over niggas' flat tops. You know what I mean? That's not gonna satisfy the people who want me to basically get on the cross and, you know, and give and throw my whole shit away for the cause. They just want to build a shrine so they can burn it down. I'm not falling for that. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas are not that slick. You niggas are not that slick. Nigga, It's about us changing our minds. It's about us getting our shit together, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, getting on one page. It's about us clicking up and getting this shit right. And unfortunately, when I look out into this community, the same people who used to judge conscious community for being about arguing and being about doing dumb shit, I see a whole bunch of different parties out here fighting with each other. This out here banging on Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson, people's banging on them. They banging on each other. This is at the culmination of 2019, at the end of the Jubilee. So what is that telling you? So Dr. Claude Anderson got on the Breakfast Club and he laid out, he gave niggas, that was a Christmas present to the whole race. If you never received nothing on Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, nigga, you better go and watch that Breakfast Club interview with Claude Anderson, because it's a whole bunch of gifts in that. It was a whole bunch of gifts in that. And he laid it out the way that it needs to be laid out, because if you're not going into 2020 with a plan, you're finito, you're trash. You understand? You wasted your whole fucking time and you're trash. Hold on. So he got a plan. His plan is in his book, Powernomics. It's a crying shame that his book has been out so long, and some of our quote unquote his master students or anybody who's basically took that book have not done, what really should be done. He's supposed to have a 4-hour documentary on him ready for Netflix. Somebody like a Tariq Nasheed should focus a whole documentary on Dr. Claude and bring in other experts who are economically inclined and professionally inclined to give out the solutions. What the fuck is up with this bag, y'all? What's up with the bag? Because the only thing getting in the way of the bag is us. It's niggas stepping on each other's toes, and it's that it's that poverty consciousness. I've been there before. I know what it is, nigga. I tasted that poison water. I seen them dirty glasses before. Niggas do not want each other to eat. You could say what you want to say, but if these thought leaders and if everybody really wanted to eat, niggas would be at the table. They don't even want to sit at the table with each other, because you have some greedy people in that mix that obviously are not thinking about the collective. Because if the collective was being thought about, this shit would be completely different. He put that book out centuries ago. Yeah, I keep saying Neely Fuller's name. Okay, yeah, he's a great man. What's goody? What y'all saying about that? I'm talking about Claude Anderson. Please do me a favor and stop interjecting. This is not a roll call. Let's focus on one teacher at a time. And I agree that Neely Fuller deserves a 4-hour documentary as well. He deserves one as well. All of our elders deserve, in the age of cameras where all you niggas got to do is press a red fucking button and hook the shit up to a terabyte. I know he been in Hidden Colors, Einstein. He needs to have his own fucking documentary. The pace at which a Hidden Colors or other document, they're not focusing on an individual and their fucking plan. I'm talking about a plan, not what you niggas was doing in the barns in Mississippi and the fort. No, not that feel good shit. None of that. Focusing on today and tomorrow, because that's what get niggas to get up and get popcorn and never come back. Because there's certain people that's not ready to do shit. They just want They want to reminisce. When you sit a whole bunch of Negroes in a fucking room and you demand that they start doing some shit right now, that's when you separate the boys from the men, the mice from the men, the wheat from whatever the fuck they say it is, the wheat from the chaff. Give us a man with a plan. Give us a fucking plan. You have to implant into the subconsciousness of black Americans, FBA, ADOS, what African booty scratches, whatever the fuck you niggas are. You have to implant in the subconsciousness of our people, whoever you want to call us, Moors, Aboriginals, Indigenous, foundational blacks, Native Americans, anything, you gotta plant, like the movie Inception showed you, a fucking idea into our subconsciousness and then water that bitch so it can grow. You're not gonna get into power by talking about how many niggas got hung and how many niggas got shot and all of these other shit. And you didn't tell us the results of what happened to the niggas who hung them. We didn't get that part. We don't see the results of that because, you know, uh, last time I checked, we with the shits, and niggas with diarrhea don't get shitted on. But every time I look around, the with the shits people is getting shitted on. So I don't even want to talk about that because that's not powerful. That's not power talk. Power talk is who has there's we see the smoke signals. The power talk is who is not in the non-smoking section. That's the only thing that needs to be talked about at this point. You niggas miss me with all of that other shit. The fuck is you talking about? Who is not in the non-smoking section? That's who I want to talk to. Anything else is uncivilized. Akon is the most important rapper in rap because he got a plan. None of them are on the level of an Akon because Akon said that he's building a city in 10 years. That statement makes him jump over Jay-Z. He makes him jump over Kanye West. It makes him jump over everybody that niggas is considering top tier because he got a plan and they don't. And if they have a plan, they didn't debut it before 2020. They didn't get up there and they did not say what it was. And he did. So he's ahead of them because he laid out his plan. His plan is going to germinate in the subconsciousness, not of just Africans, retards. It's going to germinate in the minds of Brazilians. It's going to germinate in the minds of niggas in Dubai. It's going to germinate in the mind of Australians. It's going to germinate in the mind of Senegalese. It's going to germinate in the minds of a little nigga in Chicago and Detroit and all over. That's how it works. That's how you do these things. That's what the Europeans have done successfully since they learned the science. The power of film, the power of the drum, and the power of the word. You marry those two, the arts and the sciences, and you have a pony in the race. You don't do that, then you keep catching L's like Todd Smith. And there's nothing else to say. Then you're just gonna get me. You're gonna get Dark Kermit for the rest of your lives. Cause I'm on you niggas' asses. But you get all of this shit that we see right now. All of this is a lot of agent shit I'm seeing. This is one of the highest heights every year at the end of the year for the last 3 or 4 years. It does not fail. If niggas get off of the Ritalin and the fucking Prozac and the goddamn fentanyl and we get our clear brains and our minds back, you would remember at the end of the fourth quarter, the last 3 weeks of December, there's somebody in this conscious community or there's somebody inside of this quote-unquote woke community that's going to war with each other, and it's a huge distraction. It never fails. It started in 2016 with the agents, and it's been going on ever since. Everybody is Takashi in my eyes. All these niggas is Takashi. Niggas that used to be on parole. Niggas that used to catch cases and the cases disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that got caught in airports with the fake Moorish licenses. You know what I mean? All of these people that used to get jammed up, they have, there's mad niggas in the community that used to have big felony cases. But nobody's in jail. All of these niggas are still on the internet. And that's not to say that I wish anything on them, but we know that they didn't have Cochran on their team. Nobody reported back what was the results. Like, what's the end results? It's a whole bunch of people this state property, and they acting like they state property, and they're utilizing distractions. They're utilizing fake beef. They're utilizing divide and conquer techniques. They're utilizing rebel rousing. They're utilizing confusion. They're utilizing provocateur tactics. They're utilizing everything in the fucking book. And we're sitting back and we're sopping it. We're eating this shit up. And it never fails. It's year after year after year after year. So the ancestors can't be pleased. The elders can't be pleased. The elders, it's accelerating the quote unquote, it's accelerating bad health in our community. Toxic behavior on such a grand scale can do nothing but accelerate disease and bad health in the community because it's toxic, so it's stress related and it has ramifications. Stress kills, you know what I'm saying? Bad vibes create bad people and bad situations. And yeah, and the ego is a motherfucker. And good people are being quote unquote held hostage by by niggas, by egomaniacs. You don't even know, ain't even know it. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't even know. I'd rather be in a rap game. You know what I'm talking about? Fucking with the knuckle draggers and the niggas on lean and whatnot, because you could get further with them. But in this conscious shit, in this non-regulated, you know, fucking barn, in this pig pen, oh man, the mudslinging, the getting in the mud, the way that these niggas is getting low in the mud, the disregard for, the babies, the disregard for the women, the disregard for the families, the disregard for the student body, the disregard for the people who've given out mad hours on YouTube watching niggas for hundreds of hours waiting for something to, some kind of fucking solutions. Yeah, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? All of the money, all of the support niggas have been throwing around to all of these different organizations, all of these different people, all of these different charlatans, all of these different teachers, all of these different hustlers, all of these niggas, all of these different fuck boys, and y'all don't have nothing in return. Y'all don't got nothing to show. Niggas don't got nothing to show. Let's be clear. Stop playing. The fuck out of here. Nobody's built a goddamn thing. There's nothing on the road running. There's no cars on Lincoln Highway, nigga. Niggas did not put no buses on the road. You know what I'm talking about? There's nothing traveling with your name on it. Cut it out. There's no import-export trade routes. There's no Silk Road. There's no new marketplaces. There's no control of the economy. There's no dominant nothing. So I don't even want to hear this shit. It's just a bunch of personalities with a lot of dick riders, that have no problem hopping on wood, jumping from wood to wood, switch siders, dick riders, bandwagoners, and panhandlers. Niggas is out here panhandling on live streams, gorilla pimping, running up on the shea butters and basically gorilla pimping them, Deboing them. You know what I mean? You got the Th3rd movement that's out here munching carpets, pretending and faking to be, doulas and whatnot, and coming in the good name of a head rat, and they out here, vampiring, sucking on blood, and they out here on some interview with the vampire shit. You know what I mean? They blood suckers. It's all kind of side door action. You know what I'm talking about? It's all kind of side door action. You got people pledging allegiance, but they loyal to the knuckle draggers. That's a fact. I seen it. I travel in Atlanta. I travel in the South and stuff like that. I see it. They pledge allegiance to the community, but they loyal to the knuckle draggers. They are, shit. It's like they spies or something. Like I was explaining before in last episode, whenever something is debased, like the rap game is debased, meaning well, let's go back. The economy is debased. They printing money at an accelerated rate with nothing to back it. There's no gold backing it. They're printing it at an accelerated rate. It's basically ballooning inflation. It's debased. In the hip hop game, after Biggie and Pac died, a bunch of niggas flooded in the game and started saying that they was rappers. Everybody claiming rap. Every day, there's hundreds and thousands of records coming out, and none of them shits is hot. It's debased. In the conscious community, after the rise of YouTube and master teachers started retiring and whatnot and dying and making transitions, all of these Johnny come lately weird niggas pop up, coming sneaking through the side doors of YouTube claiming to be your leader and whatnot. And the shit is debased. So there's no filter system in consciousness. So you don't know who's who. You just catch on to some shit. You hear niggas say expeditiously, all of a sudden, he's your leader or he got the fucking plan. He's the man with the plan. So it's debased. There's the value system or the quote unquote exclusivity does not exist anymore. You know what I mean? You could get backed by a master teacher and they put you out there like, yo, this is the next one, or these are the next ones. And you still have 100,000 other motherfuckers who self anointed themselves. You know what I'm saying? Facebook is their master teacher, Google is their motherfucking master teacher. And they out here running around and the emperor got no clothes. So this thing right here is the base. And individuals such as myself, we're like, yo, I need to go somewhere where there's more exclusivity because this doesn't mean anything anymore. This don't mean nothing no more. This shit is charity that I'm doing by sticking around because it doesn't mean anything. It's too crowded over here right now. This is not exclusive. It was, but it ain't. And I'm an exclusive nigga, and I look for exclusive. I'm luxury. You know what I'm talking about? I fucks with luxury, and this ain't it. Now with these goofies that's running around, these niggas is not master teachers. They master reachers. They master splinter. I can't account for them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad for a lot of people who won't experience consciousness from a higher exclusivity level. You won't even know what it is to have master teachers. You won't even know the feeling of when shit is super lit, when a Phil Valentine did a lecture, or super lit when Bobby was coming to town, or super lit when Delbert flew in. You won't, or super lit when Sabi stepped out on the stage. You'll never know that, and that's fucking sad. You know what I'm talking about? You'll never know that. So what did the Nipsey Hussle shit teach me? Keep these goofy niggas from around you, Because as important as they said Nipsey Hussle was, I feel like I'm 10 times more important than a Nipsey Hussle was, based off of what I'm doing for my people and what I mean to my people and what I've already done for my people and where I stand and and where I stand and where my family stands. And that's nothing to take away from the God right there, but he was studying the gods. So if he deserves 24-hour security, if he should not come to Crenshaw without his blicky and whatnot, or without a whole bunch of blickies surrounding him, if he was stupid for slipping and not having it on him for 5 minutes and having a goofy nigga around him, then I gotta look at that lesson and say, what am I learning from that? Then I don't need to be nowhere near around these niggas, because there's a whole bunch of motherfucking shitty cousins in this community, and they pulling up on niggas every day. Or they on 2/5, they're at the lectures. Them niggas will catch you in the airport. Them niggas is on the fucking highway when I'm on a China bus and we go to a rest stop. I bump into shitty cousins. I don't want no moist niggas around me. I don't, because that's shitty cuz to me. I don't want any I don't want no goofy niggas. I don't want goof troop around me, cuz to me that's how Nipsey got killed. By having niggas, there's a thin line at this point. If you're not solid, if you're not about that, if you're not moving like a fucking a war general, if you're not moving like the president, nigga, if you're not moving as a tactician, then you can't fucking sit with me. If you're not moving like Russ and the Irishman in them, you can't sit with us. I don't want to have nothing to do with no. I don't even want. I'm too accessible at this point. That's what Nipsey taught me. That I'm wasting my time, and I made myself wild accessible, and I put my life on the line. You know what I'm talking about? Cause I know when I leave this bitch, it's gonna create a. I'm gonna have my impact. Because if he hasn't taught you anything, the only thing that this shit is right here is about your last day. That's the only thing that this life is about. What kind of impact are you gonna make when you die, nigga? Are you gonna die with, looking young? Are you gonna die young, James Dean, nigga, still with your teeth intact? Are you gonna die at the top, nigga, or are you gonna die disgraced with all of your teeth gone, mad wrinkled, shitting on yourself, you know, with a soiled legacy? Or are you gonna leave this bitch as an immortal, still young, still looking good, on your feet? Because that's how legends are made. That's how immortals are made. That's how you live forever. So the only thing that you have in this world right now is the ability to be a fucking legend and an icon. Because if you leave this bitch and nobody says your name the next week, nigga, you lost. You don't. Nobody told you that. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people know that. I don't think a lot of people know that. So you better go the fuck in while you here, cause you don't got that long. You don't have that much time, my nigga. You better make an impression. You need to make an impact and do good. You don't have to be Nipsey Hussle. You don't gotta be Red Pill. You don't gotta be on the internet to be a legend and to be an immortal and to make an impact. You can impact people around you, and they'll build statues in your name. They will hold you up. They will revere you. They will put murals in your name. They will name babies after you. They will put your name somewhere where it will not be forgotten, my nigga. That's the key to this shit. That's what they were doing in Kemet, nigga. They were preparing to die. That's what they were doing. The Mayans were preparing to die, nigga. They was preparing to tap out and go back to Sirius. But they were preparing to make a fucking impact. So they was building temples and shrines and statues in their name. Be fruitful and multiply. Don't be no fucking moist ass nigga who euthanizes himself. Don't be no fucking eunuch. Don't fall into the devil's spell because he's out here clipping you niggas nut sacks. You can't let him hang anymore because you don't have a pair. And that right there is a touchdown on the devil's end when your ancient ass don't want to motherfucking replicate and procreate your fucking your ancient DNA bloodline. You don't have the right to even make that choice. You weird ass nigga. You selfish ass nigga. That's not your choice. You were sent here with a fucking with an edict, nigga, and that's to spread your seed and make a whole bunch of you. If you lit like that, if you're a god, it's primarily. I'm speaking to the God in you. If you Godin, then that's your job, especially the men, because you got to carry on your fucking name. But you niggas want to play on Hershey's Highway and do all kind of I mean, I had to sit Dark Kermit down because he was finna jump out, and you know we can't jump out on YouTube right now, so I gotta be mindful of that. So Dark Kermit, sit down, because he was gonna get graphic, but you know what I'm talking about. You niggas compromising your whole manhood for what? Nah, I can't let him out. This nigga get my whole channel snatched. You niggas compromising your whole fucking your ancestors is watching you. Your ancestors is watching the fuckery take place. You are forfeiting your whole bloodline to taste the rainbow. How dare you niggas? And you think I'm supposed to be clicked up and I'm supposed to let niggas in my inner circle like that as if you won't make bad decisions? You already made the worst fucking decision. So what did Nipsey tell me? To tighten up my circle and keep niggas far away from me. And build my own fucking city. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even want to revive Harlem. It's cute and everything, but I'm good. I want to see some new land. Harlem did what Harlem needed to do. You know what I mean? Certain parts of Brooklyn, they already made their mark. But the streets is named after slave masters, and so is the projects. So I'm not gonna exhaust too much energy and time trying to change that when we could build our own fucking towns and name them after our dead homies. But anyway, it is what it is. There's a lot more lessons in 2019. And even the Nipsey shit taught me so much more that I'm going to expound upon. But it's not going to be at this time and juncture and day and time because, we just warming it up. There's a whole bunch of important things that happened this year we're going to get on. But that's one of them. But that's the main thing. It was Nip. Nothing, there's no other story as impactful, as newsworthy in my existence, personally. Nothing. When I lost Poop Man, one of my day ones, that hurt me to my core. And his story is very instrumental in my creation myth. And it ties into some of the Nipsey shit, so that's a part of the lessons that I have to learn. Losing Juice World. I didn't know Juice World personally, I met Nipsey before. I didn't meet Juice World. But the Juice World was a lesson. It said, don't live in fear. If the po-po running down on you, you don't swallow no fucking pills, my nigga. This is what you got money for, so you can bail out. You can make the wrong decision at the wrong moment, and that could cost you your life. Do not live in fear. False expectations appearing real. You had 70 fucking pounds of weed. You was already going to the pokey, nigga. You might as well just stuck it out with the pills and let the motherfucking Jewish lawyers eat the case. But a young man who was very talented, uber talented, he was the future of his generation. He decided to lead in fear because fear made him do that, nothing else. Mentally, you got to train yourself to see if when these people run down on you, you know, it's not a checkmate. You gotta live to fight another day. If you gotta take a knee, my nigga, if that's your tactic at war, then that's what you gotta do. But don't take a knee and get beheaded. Mass Exodus, Mojave Desert. My brother Poop Man, my heart, you know, Vernard Johnson, he's gonna live as long as I live. You know, he's gonna live forever. I'm gonna make sure of that. I'm gonna tell his story, you know, and by doing such, then I feel that I'll be doing him justice. And that's really what this is about. We gotta tell our stories. The greatest story never told. It has to be told in order to complete the cipher. That ain't asking for much. You know, that's why the focus is film this year. The focus is definitely music this year. The focus is the arts and the sciences this year. I'm gonna fall back. I'm not gonna be that much in front of you niggas because, you know, that's not how things are created. I have, this year was very powerful for me. You know, I'm going to make some big announcements going into 2020. My life is, you know, everything is changing for the better. You know what I mean? But 2019 was very instrumental, and it's milestones to this shit. You know what I'm saying? But 2020 is our time. You know, it's me and my brother's time, and we are going to be very more serious about legacy. I got my, you know, about my umi. My mother has, she needs to be immortalized. She got, I want to see my mother in a house like Cardi and Offsets. That I want to move my mother in the kind of in a castle. Like that's what I want to do. I want to put my mama in a motherfucking castle, maybe in a St. Croix or something, so she could chill in some cold and some warm weather. But she deserves that. She cured AIDS, and niggas is running around. You know, they won't give her credit. Fuck out of here. They won't give her credit. And, you know, we're going to take that shit. I don't need niggas to give nobody, I don't need nobody to give her anything because they're not going to give it to her. We're going to have to take it. But she was right there curing AIDS in the 80s. And I'm not going to wait for niggas to, you know, do her like they do, you know, the necromancy. You know, I'm not going to let niggas do her like that. Not at all. You know, she been through too much. She buried a child and whatnot. She been through too much. You know, she when Dr. Sabi died, that hit her like a Mack truck. So my life's purpose is to edify the works of my motherfucking mother. And it's so hard to do it in a community that you would think would let that shit do what it do. But it just shows you what we're up against. It just shows you what the fuck is going what you know, it just shows you how far this whole thing has fallen. But, you know, if Eminem don't tie up Nick Cannon and kidnap that nigga, then we'll have that documentary coming out and a whole bunch of other things taking place on top of other, and it's not predicated on that documentary either. You know, that's just a commercial to put people out there so they could do rightfully so what they were sent here to do. We all got work to do. We all got work to do. Yeah, Sabi, but like I said, it's Sabi, but it's not just Sabi. If especially the women out there, If y'all don't actively give the other women around him the credit, then you do yourself a disservice once again by negating the angelical, divine, feminine aspect of all of our great men. You know what I'm talking about? You want to talk about Garvey? Let's talk about his wife. You want to talk about Malcolm? Let's talk about his wife. You know what I'm talking about? You want to talk about anybody that's great? Let's talk about the women that was around them. And that's what I want. That's the conversation that we should be entertaining, especially all of these women that talk about rights and women power, because to them, women power is Lizzo showing her fucking pancakes. That's women empowerment. Being able to suck dick for $20. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. They've once again, they debased empowerment. They debased, black excellence. It's all debased. So now black excellence and black power and black girl magic is a whole bunch of frivolous fuck shit. So we'll be swimming upstream. This journey this is a sacrifice. This is not easy at all. Yeah, I think that it is. Then y'all should be doing this shit then, because this is not easy. The level of this is a high anxiety, highly stressful, very unrewarding. You're not going to receive your flowers while you're here. You're not going to receive your resources that you need to get busy while you're here. This is a very necromantic, Jesus Christ driven, sacrificial type of lamb culture. You have to put yourself on a cross in order for these niggas to give you your credit. Like Sabi had to die for niggas to give it up. That's a fact. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. You have to be off the scene where you're no threat, where you know what I mean, in order for niggas to give you rightfully what is yours. Nipsey, they wasn't giving him that shit when he was alive. They wasn't going to allow him the power to hoard power, to basically they weren't going to forfeit their power to a living man who is not their version or their image of Christ. If the nigga don't look like Jesus, they're not going to give you their power. I promise you. You be... So, don't even look for it. You're going to waste your time looking for it. So, the fake adulations and, I don't even need it, because it don't... I know it's going to come when I'm not here. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to waste my time trying to... That's hollow to me. That don't mean nothing. I need some resources. I need machines. You understand? I need factories. I need access, my nigga, to power. Nothing else. So if you doing a great job. Your mama, she's so important. Your brother KT is a genius. Your brother Blue Pill is astronomical, man. Did you see what y'all are so talented? Y'all great. Well, if we great, then show us, motherfucker. Stop talking about it. Show it. Open some doors. You know what I'm saying? Lay out, make a fucking table. Lay it out. Put a bag on the table. Make something happen, my nigga. Because we out here, we hipping and we hopping. We moving. We moving. And like I said, when it really gets down to it, based off of how I see this thing, or how this thing is gonna be seen, it's gonna be, it's gonna turn into something that, it's gonna turn into something else. Because I see that force needs to be applied. You gotta exert. We're gonna have to begin to exert some kind of force to make things move in the way that they need to move, rather than sitting back, waiting for motherfuckers to open up doors. There's gonna have to be some kind of, you know, unseen hand to start moving things around. So, when niggas activate, it's gonna be an activation, because the stakes is high, man. This is a we playing on a global scale at this point. You know what I mean? This from big stakes, y'all. Not some type of dark magic. Not some type of dark magic. Dark magic is chaos magic, and chaos magic is Melanin Mondays. Chaos magic is Third Eye Thursdays. Chaos magic is the Last Breath song. Chaos magic is Holy Ghost 2. Chaos magic is Kings County Clothing. Chaos magic is every time I go live. That's chaos magic, because magic is the heka, and the heka is the word. You know what I'm talking about? And not following the path that organized religion is laying out, not following the path of a coon, not following the path of a nigga who got a contract that's keeping them walking a straight line. Anything outside of that is chaos magic. The shit that we doing, sparking minds and speaking against the fuck shit, nigga, that's chaos. And there's order that's gonna come out of that. Order comes out of chaos. When I upload videos or upload memes on my Instagram, I'm participating in meme magic, which is a form of chaos magic. So it's already dark magic going on. You know what I'm talking about? This whole shit this is dark magic. But yeah, we've said enough. To be continued. It's been interesting, y'all. Bro, the industry is about to try to step in your lane 2020. Bro, the industry is in our lane. What are you talking about? You don't think that the industry stepped into this lane already? You don't think that the industry already stepped into this lane? What do you think the woke marketplace is? Like, the industry is in the lane, bro. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, Melanin Monday. I know I could do it. You don't gotta, the, talk about the North Gate. What about the North Gate? We in the North Gate. We in the North Gate. This is the North Gate. I want you to do some research on the celestial. Go on Dr. Wayne Chandler's page. Right? Go on Dr. Wayne Chandler's page and go and read. Yeah, I love Texas. Go and read what he wrote about the galactic center and where we are right now with the energy that is coming into this quote unquote galaxy and this Milky Way by way of this cosmic alignment. You know what I mean? The ancestors prophesied the Gregorian calendar year of 2020 for not just because of a New Year's Eve party. There's something on a galactical, cosmical scale. On January 4th, we'll be doing American Gods 3, and we'll talk about it. We're going to dive into it. Later on, the link should be in the description by the time you're watching this video on a replay. The link should be in the description to go and get your tickets for the January 4th American Gods 3 presentation. So we could talk about what we going into what 2020 represents on a God level. You know what I'm saying? On a very high energetic, you know, galactical level, and what it's doing, what it's going to do to your light body, what it's going to do, and how it's going to affect us spiritually, amongst many other things. How do you watch back episodes of American Gods? American Gods is on the same Stars network that Power is on. Stars. Go and look up Stars and go and watch it on Stars. So, love and light to the family. You already know, Cash App, money sign, Phil Moreland, Moreland. Is it in New York? It's online. It's gonna be an online webinar, Zoom lecture. You don't have to worry about if it's in New York or El Segundo. Just get the ticket and you'll be able to be in the building. All right. Does Mama Pill still have a healing spot in Atlanta? Yeah, but she hasn't been in Atlanta for a very long time. So she still has a spot, but she's going back and forth seeing clients and doing work. And she's not at that, you know, she's not there every day waiting for somebody to call her or come through and shit like that. All right. So, with that being said, I'll talk to y'all.